Thanks for the support as a channel member, Turin McDonough. 2 days left to order your Bourne shirts. Link is down in the description below. Plus, we are top of the league. Hello and welcome to part 33 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games for you. Interesting. 2 games today. 2 days left to order Bourne shirts. Coincidence? Probably not. The link is down in the description. We're playing against Brackley and Harrogate, both in the National League. Since you were last with me, we've had a pretty good month. An unbeaten November. Yes, there's 3 draws in the middle, but we did get back to winning ways right at the very end. And the important thing is, even though that looks like a little bit of a stutter, it eliminated these dirty red circles and also has led to us being top of the league. Almost at the halfway point of the season. Yes, York have got a game in hand and they're level on points with us, but we're top of the league. I'd rather have the position than the game in hand. I've talked about that many times in the past, and I'm also still very excited to see that we've got the 2 highest scorers in the league in Bond and Quinn. Bond is also obviously the best player in the league. Matthew Bond is just an absolute superstar. He is he's the kind of player who could be with us for years to come if we can keep hold of him. That's going to be a big if, because there's going to be teams sniffing, I'm sure, if he continues to bang in the goals the way he has been so far. This is the team that we're going to be playing against Brackley. Still using the 4-4-2. In fact, why have we got them that way around? You can tell I picked this team late last night. Goodness me. We'll have them that way round. Thank you very much. We've got Anang in goal. A back 4 of Garrett, Morrison, Ford and White. Who is Garrett Morrison, by the way? I've been saying this for like 2 years. I know a Garrett Morrison. I'm certain of it. It sounds weird every time I say it. I might need to start playing Morrison on the right-hand side of the back of the centre-backs. So Garrett, Morrison, Ford and White. Vince Cole back in the team on the left-hand side of midfield for today, just mainly because Mitchell's getting a little bit tired, so we're giving him a little bit of a rest. Vince Cole is looking for more game time. Today he's going to get a little bit because we can give Mitchell a rest. Pack, Mundell and Williams making up the rest of the midfield, and then Quinn and Bond up front. Yes, Quinn and Bond are both tired too, but did you see the bit where they were the 2 highest scorers in the division? Tell me you'd be able to rest them in these circumstances, especially for a video. You'd lot would slaughter me if it was Plange and Randall up front today, after all that talk about how good these strikers are. So they've got to play, even though they're tired. Right, what can we say? We're going to say, I expect nothing but a win to keep our good run of form going. Let's do that. The league table looks like it's tucked up underneath the match stats again, which never ceases to be annoying. I hope they fix this for it's the one thing I want them to fix for FM21. I know people have got their own little niggly complaints, but please, for the just fix this so that they stay where I leave them, for goodness sake. Oh, it's so annoying. Especially when I'm trying, I mean, not even just when I'm trying to make videos, but it does make the videos look sloppy. But even when I'm sat here just playing in my pants, eating cold pizza crusts, I want to be able to see the top of the league table when I'm there. I don't need to see a rain cloud. Thank you. I want to see the top of the league table because that's where we are. Did I mention we're top of the league? And as you can tell, I'm quite excited about it. I'm having a lovely time. This is the most fun I've had with a Bourne team for about 5 seasons, since we were all conquering with the likes of Connor Carty and Mata and those kind of players and just scoring 10 goals against everybody. It's got that kind of feel about it again, and the excitement is flowing, and I do feel like as much as we tried to assemble the team in the Conference North, we didn't quite have the money and the reputation to do it. But I look at this 11 now, and obviously some of them are getting on a bit, like Pack, who has still got some talent, but he's getting on a bit. But I look at the core of this team and think, yeah, this group of players, or a group of players, at least sort of half a six of them, half a dozen of them are players who could still be here when we're getting promoted into the Championship, because they're young, they're very good, they're only going to get better, they've got huge potential, and that's exciting, knowing that we're finally building some heroes again. We might be edging ever closer to having our first club legend, which I still don't think I am, which I'm a little bit disappointed about. We started in Tier 10, we're now top of Tier 5. If that doesn't make me a legend, I don't know what does. Why are we not winning yet? Goodness me, we need to go attacking in the second half. Everybody dig in, all that good stuff. But more importantly, let's go to a positive mentality. I think that the time is coming when we probably just need to, by default, start with a positive mentality, because I think as the team are starting to gel together and get used to playing our way and just generally getting better at doing a football, I do think that we are reaching the point where we can probably expect to win some of these games, home games against teams who are down in mid-table. I think we can safely start them with a positive mentality, even though we were a little bit afraid to do that at the start of the season. I think what we've seen in the first half there is if we start balanced, we're just not really, although we're creating a few chances, and more often than not, our front two will score them and it'll paper over the cracks. I think we're probably better than those stats indicate from that first half, and we just need to be a little bit more ambitious. Vince Cole is in with a good chance there, but can't direct his shot goalwards. I mean, is he aware he's got the two best strikers in the division ahead of him, and he just has to literally put it into their path? I don't know why. I don't know who he thinks he is having a shot, the rascal. Right, Mundell, back to Ford. Ford, big ball forward, looking for Quinn, who flicks it on for Bond. This is what I'm talking about. Get the two of these together, and everybody's happy, and Bond has a shot from range. It's not really his forte. He's more of a header from inside the 6-yard box kind of guy, but he's obviously feeling good, feeling confident, and I'm not going to tell him not to shoot, because more often than not, when he shoots, he scores. So I'll just let him do his thing. And I am a little bit worried Brackley are about to score here, though. They do seem to be having a little bit more of the play in the early parts of this second half. We're going to ask for 10 minutes of passion, and Luke Plange is warming up, as is Mitchell, because I think we probably need... we need Mitchell, because Mitchell has been excellent in this run of games that we've had, and I think we're definitely missing having a proper winger on that left-hand side today. Vince Cole, more of a wing-back. But we're losing. Well, we've been playing so well. Why are we losing? Luke Plange might just have to come on because the front two are tired. I don't want to see the replay of that. It upsets me greatly. Right, we're going to make those changes a little bit earlier than normal. Vince Cole's going to come off for Mitchell. We're going to take Bond off, bring Plange on, swap those two over, drop him back to that. We're going to push this up here. We're going to have a little nose about what we've got on here. What are we up to? What can we do? Should we be more let's have a little bit of creative freedom as we go into these final 20 minutes or so. Because did I just cancel all of those changes? And now I've changed the screen size. Well, that all went a little bit wrong for a second there. Let's do those. I tried to do everything too quickly. I was trying to show my urgency to the players. But let's just do it slowly so that it actually works this time. It's because I play on a really wide monitor, so I play windowed, because if I recorded the screen as I actually see it on the in-betweeny matches, it would be all squashed down and stupid for YouTube. So that's why occasionally I'll hit the expand button at the top and have to stop the video because it ruins the recording. What do we do here? What do we do? We're going to, if in doubt, throw some... Don't say stop. If in doubt, throw Seaman on. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Right. We're going to push the wingers further forward as well. Just go for it. Come on. Why are we so far away? Did I zoom out as well as doing everything else? Everything's gone wrong. I enjoyed being top of the league briefly. We hadn't been there for long, but I'd like to go back. Plange is in it. Plange hasn't scored yet this season. He doesn't look like scoring today, does he? Pack plays Mitchell in. Mitchell's there and Mitchell's offside. It's a lovely finish as well. But it is offside. We're having a look at this replay. We didn't want to see a replay for the goal, but oh dear. See, he's not used to playing further forward. He wants to play on the left-hand side of midfield. We've ruined him by pushing him further forward. Quinn, back to Seaman. And Mitchell's there again. Mitchell's getting very involved. The substitutions seem to have been effective, but just not effective enough because we're going to lose. And I think I have to blame partly the first half complacency, I guess. We should have been more attacking in the first half. But also, I think probably not resting one of the strikers. We've got the two best strikers in the division on the pitch, or we did have, but they're both tired and ineffective. So now we're probably going to have to rest them both for the next game. I should have rested at least one of them today. Plange could have had a little run of games and just given both of them a little bit of rest. 2-0 down. Oh, it's disallowed as well, but still. They're coming at us again. This is the problem with the 4-2-4. We break the game when we do a 4-2-4 and the midfield just gets overloaded, even though theoretically it's the same players playing in roughly the same place. but the match engine doesn't seem to be able to cope with it properly. Pack is there across to make the tackle, but 'tis not enough. And this has been an exercise in frustration. And now York are top of the league with that game in hand still as well, which makes it even worse, because we worked really hard. York had been top for a little while. We worked really hard to get up to the top of the league. We don't want the playoffs. We know how miserable the playoffs can be if we're going to go up. And remember, that's a big if. We're supposed to finish mid-table this year, but if we are actually in a promotion hunt, which it looked a little bit like, it does seem that we might be, I want to go up as champions. I don't want to be messing around. Don't want to be messing around with playoffs. I hate them. Hate them. Well, after a couple of days of rest for the entire squad, it actually looks like Bond and Quinn are both fit enough to play. Full match fitness, both in the 90s for conditioning. Mitchell comes back into the team as well. We've got a lot of players who are wanted by other teams, and we probably need to be starting to look into transfers, not transfers, new contracts, because we are in December. So as soon as we hit the end of December, pre-contracts become a thing. We've lost players to mainly to Scotland on these pre-contracts before. So I need to make a mental note to get out and sort that out before the next episode, because what I don't want to do is see some of our better players, after just talking about this being a team that could take us to the championship, I don't want half of them to leave to go and play for Falkirk. They've got McKendy up front again, who of course scored a hat-trick against us earlier in the season. As a former Bourne player, it was very painful. He's someone I would like to bring back, but where would he get in the team? Let's face it. What a goal from Jake Garrett. Absolutely out of nowhere. I was not even commentating. I was not even prepared for that. It just seemed like a nothing thing. Garrett takes the throw. Mitchell gives it back to him. He takes one touch, a second touch, and just sticks it in the goal. That was very good. And all of a sudden, we're top of the league again. Marvellous stuff. That means York must be losing, presumably, because they're still only one game behind us. Oh, dear. One fullback does something spectacular at one end, out of the blue, and then at the other end, something out of the blue happens where the other fullback has done something absolutely ridiculous. We'll have a look at it on the replay because it's just stupid. I don't even know how it happened. But the cross comes in, it hits White's heel, which then plays it perfectly into the path of their on-rushing attacker. In fact, it was their left winger. It was the player White was supposed to be marking. So not only was he not marking him, not only was he running away from him, not only did it hit him in the back, but in all of that combining, ended up playing the ball perfectly into the path of the guy he was supposed to be marking in the first place. Not a good day for White. Right. Assertive. We still want revenge. Revenge. We will avenge what has happened to us. McKendy, we're constantly keeping an eye on McKendy because we know how dangerous he can be, both from when he was with us before and also what he did to us earlier in the season for them. Although, to be fair, in both of those previous scenarios, he always played as a winger. He played as a winger for us. He played as a winger when he destroyed us earlier in the year. Today, he's playing up front. So he seems a little less effective playing as a lone striker than he is as an inside forward coming in off that left-hand side, which is where he was always dangerous for us. Pack with the corner. That is possibly the worst corner I've ever seen Pack hit. That was just a bit of a nothing, wasn't it? I don't even know why that was a highlight. You get plenty of corners that don't show up as highlights. That just seemed a bit silly. Ball now with the free kick to Garrett, who plays it forward looking for Mitchell, but Mitchell isn't really... I mean, they all seem camera shy today. Quinn attempts a flick on, but it doesn't really go anywhere. We'd been playing so fluently and so nicely, he says, but then remembers showing you a month where we had those 3 consecutive draws where it's not that we've been winning every game 4-0 and looking all conquering and that led us to the top of the league. It's a similar situation to what we often find in these lower leagues, non-league league tables. There isn't a team who just goes and wins lots of matches. It's a war of attrition, and the team that's the least useless over long term is the one that ends up top of the league. So there'll be plenty of times where we have these boring draws against the likes of Harrogate. I just wish we didn't get 2 of them happening in the same video. It makes me look like a numbskull. Right, stick plan, John. We're also going to get Cornell on, and we're going to get him on for Mundell. No, we're not. We're going to bring him on for Pack, and we're going to play Mundell back there and just have a little bit more energy in that midfield than we'd get from having pack in there who, as much as he hits a nice free kick, it's tough for him with his old man legs to play 2 games in 4 days like this. The only other options we've got to come on are Greenwood, who's a left back, and Garrett's playing well, or Morrison, and we don't really want to change the centre backs, so we're not going to make another change. This is unheard of. Kev's not making a final change. Is he feeling all right? It's all falling apart. How do we start an episode top of the league, win neither game, and end the episode still only 1 point off the top? This league is there for the taking. Oh, we've just got to get a run of form together to take it. I'm going to look at the dynamic screen again and hopefully show you that it's still not very good team cohesion and blame it on that rather than myself. Yeah, that's what's causing this problem. That's why we have these huge inconsistencies, because the players are still blending together, and when they blend, they will be awesome. We will be back around probably towards the end of January. Play a whole bunch of league games. I don't know that I care about the FA Trophy. I'll start caring about it as we get a bit further into it. It'll be nice to win it, especially if this is our last year in non-league, which is a big if, after 1 win in 6. How are we a point off the top of the league? But we'll come back somewhere around here. The local derby against Boston might be a fun time to come back. And then a couple of big games against teams that in my head are league teams. And then we've got the run-in. So fingers crossed that we can find a run of form at somewhere before the end of somewhere before the end of the season. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Don't forget to head down into the description, click the link, buy yourself a Bourne shirt. Last chance, certainly on this run. We'll try and do another run at some point in a couple of months' time, maybe. But there's never any guarantees with that kind of thing. So, I mean, last year, the shirt manufacturer went bust between orders. So, you know, anything can happen. This one won't go bust. But order a shirt, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.